world's most talented and beautiful leading ladies, please welcome back to the show, Jennifer Garner.
Movie draft day in a second, but you really must be football inspired because the way you were introduced and came out of it was like a player coming out of the tunnel in the Super Bowl.
I believe, I'm sure we have research we can do, but I believe you set the celebrity speed record for coming out.
Oh, good. Let's do that research. I'd like to see the impact.
I'm certain.
Excellent.
A lot of people really take their time.
And the last time we saw you at the Oscars, you were there for Dallas Buyers.
I know.
To be a part of a film that was so, first of all, it's such an important movie, I think, and then so well received and so honored.
Honestly, when we started that movie, we didn't know if we'd be able to finish it. The funding just wasn't there, and as we did it, it was not that fun of a movie to shoot. If you can imagine, with these guys going through what they went through physically, but even more so emotionally. So to see them rewarded and to see that work recognized, and just to see the movie make it into theaters was amazing. And to be there, I'll just never forget sitting there and hearing their names called. I felt like I was kind of floating up above them, you know, just like rooting for them every step of the way. It was such a thrill.
Yeah, I mean, Matthew McConaughey, Best Actor, Jared Leto, Best Supporting Actor. I mean,
and you look so beautiful on the red carpet. You were one of our favorites. You know, we had a whole fashion panel where we chose our favorites, and you were one of our favorites. Gorgeous.
Thank you very much.
There you weren't talking to us.
Oh,
you just had pizza. No, you had pizza, remember?
That's right, yeah.
But I have a question I always wondered, how do you choose your dress?
Oh, well, I knew that I was lucky enough to be dressed by Oscar De La Renta, who was just like
the loveliest
such
person.
a gem. And he sent 2 dresses, and then I put one on, and we all loved it. There's like, talk about a panel of people. There are 50 people there helping you decide. Right. Then we put on the other dress, and we thought, oh, well, this is great, too. And my 2-year-old walked in, and he looked up at me, and he said, Mama, you look so pretty. And we were all like, okay, well, that's done.
Very important to take, you know, the 2-year-olds, sometimes they see things very clearly, don't they?
Yes, for sure.
And you have the Violet, Serafina, and Samuel.
Yes.
And he's the only boy. So how is he different than the girls?
In every possible way in the universe. I mean, I really didn't get it, because I only have sisters. I didn't know about this little boy thing.
It's crazy.
I mean, honestly, the other day, he's just turned 2, Sam, and I was making pancakes with him, and he was sitting in this little chair that I have attached to the counter so he can help me. And I put him down, he wanted to get down, and I turn around, and he's standing on top of the kitchen table with scissors that he had taken apart and was holding, and he's just like, hey, Mama, you know? We're having to go back and childproof all the stuff that we did with the first kid and then didn't really need and didn't need with the second one, and now we're like, oh no, get something on that floor.
Yeah.
Because this kid is bananas.
That's right.
Now, is he into sports like his father?
He will sit through an entire game. If it's on TV, he'll sit with Ben and say, you know, boom! If you give him a football, he says, hike, and he goes running. He's definitely, for sure.
Wow.
Mostly he's into tools. I had to revamp all of the lullabies that I've been singing forever and make them, instead of like moon, 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 it would be the hammer says boom, boom, boom.
Right.
You should have told me.
No, I didn't. No, I feel like I did. I feel like I said it so much early on that people probably have forgotten, but boys will dismantle anything. They take things apart. We were visiting Mark's family in Italy many years ago when we just had one baby boy, and he took apart the toilet in our hotel. While we were just sitting, you know, getting ready to go out to dinner. We didn't leave it right. We didn't leave him alone.
You're sitting right here.
In the blink of an eye, they do things like that. But your daughters are, it's all ahead of you. That's all I'm going to say. And there you go.
Great. See, boys take apart toilets, girls take apart hearts. I mean, that's just the way. did the girls play any sports, though?
They are starting to play. They're getting big enough. You know, they're playing their little team.
With the beautiful and talented Jennifer Garner, star of the new movie Draft Day. And this is, I saw the movie, I loved it.
Did you like it? I was really hoping that you liked it.
No,
you were kind of laughing at me. I mean, I had a feeling you might like it, but I really think the ladies are going to like it. Don't you think?
You know what? Because it's about football, Cleveland Browns, and they're struggling to get the #1 draft pick. But it's love, it's family, it's everything. I think everybody's going to love the movie.
When I was little, my mom wanted us, for some reason, to eat the livers, the chicken livers, and none of us liked them, so she would wrap them in bacon. To me, this is a chick flick wrapped up in football.
Right.
So it will get the guy to take you to the movie, but really it's for you.
Yeah.
And that's just between us.
You can only say that here.
Yes, let's keep it amongst ourselves.
Now, did you know a lot about football? Because when last time Ben was here, he was saying that you are like a football expert. So I'm curious, have you always been a football expert?
I mean, I like football, and I grew up watching, but no, by no means am I an expert. Ben's just like pimping me out. But no. No, I would not say that in this room and sitting up here, I wouldn't be.
No. Let me tell you. He said, actually, his exact words, my wife probably knows more about football than you, Michael.
Right.
Wow.
No. And the thing is,
I'm going to get a gun and kill you.
I think you probably do.
I do. I mean, I really love football. I love that my character was the capologist, which means that she's the head of the salary cap for this particular franchise. And I got to follow around the real capologist for the Cleveland Browns, who's this awesome woman named Megan Rogers, who's just the prettiest girl in the room, the most beautifully dressed, the most together, that knows more about football than anyone. But if anyone crosses her, she will bring the hammer down.
But don't you find, like, being a capologist, like, isn't it so much like running your household? Aren't you the house capologist?
That's why I feel like, how come every person with this job isn't a woman? How does any man, honestly, how does any man handle this job? It's too much for them.
I just want you two to know, I am sitting right here listening to you.
Men can get distracted by bright, shiny things.
Yes,
like the most
exactly.
expensive car in the best way. And women are like, we don't need that right now. We have to plan for the future, for when one of us gets sick.
And they have to be multitasking in their brains and thinking about a billion things at once. Why would you ever give a man that job? Yes, this is my plan all along.
Leave Art because he agrees with us. Art is actually our capologist, by the way.
But you played the love interest, the Kevin Costner.
I did.
And how was it working with him?
Come on. You know, he's just such a great guy. He's so fantastic in the movie, and you remember why you love Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, Tin Cup. Like, there's nobody you want.
Dances with Wolves.
Well, dude, I'm talking about sports movies.
I'm talking about Dances with Wolves.
There's one common denominator, and it is that guy.
Yeah.
So he's just chatting all the time about how much he loves his wife and his kids, and so you just kind of fall for him. And he and I had a great time together and a great banter, and then they would turn on the cameras, and he would set those steely blues on me. Putty.
See, we're good for something, us men. Yeah. Well, you know, we're going to take a look at a clip. And in this scene, you're talking to the Browns' new head coach, played by Dennis Leary. So let's take a look at Jennifer Garner in Draft Day.
You as jacked as everyone else around here about getting the first pick?
I don't really get jacked. I just manage the cap.
How does a girl like you get in this game anyways?
Law school.
Lawyer. So you don't get excited about anything.
If I do my job and we haven't spent more than $125 million on players by the time the season starts, I get excited.
Yeah. Mind if I sit down?
I'm busy.
Okay, cool. I could use your help. The Browns brought me to Cleveland so that everybody could get one of these.
How is it that the ultimate prize in the most macho sport ever invented is a piece of jewelry?
Well, I'm going to tell you how most surprised because men love diamonds too. Yes, we do. And the movie is Draft Day. It's in theaters today. Do yourself a favor and check it out, everybody. It's a great film. Jennifer Garner, everybody.